Board to order. Begin with the prayer and pledge.
Let's pray. Dear Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for the opportunity to come together and take care of the county's business, Lord. We ask that you bless this room and each one in here and lead, guide, and direct us in our daily activities. In your holy name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll move on with the approval of the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Move on to the claims. Barron Creek, $1,200, Middle Fork ditch, or Barron Creek LLC, sorry. $1,200, Middle Fork ditch, $19,739.15 in the fund. Chronicle Tribune, $8.84, Crane Pond, $11,310.78 in the fund. Spitzer Herman, $5,680, Crane Pond, $11,310.78 in the fund. Drury, Simon, and Bowman, $17,687.88, Crane Pond, $11,310.78 in the fund.
It's in the red now.
It'll be in the red. Yep. Any questions on these claims?
I'll make a motion for it.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we pay these 4 claims. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Got another one. Ellen W. Cates, $3,200 in the Lomax drain, $55,632.82 in the fund.
Make a motion to pay this claim.
Second.
Been moved and seconded we pay this claim. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstain. Old business. Need to set the public hearing dates for the Cart Creek.
Kenny asked you a question.
Oh,
You got a question?
yeah, what's Lomax for?
Mowing
Mowing?
between Arbor Homes and Meyer
By the ponds.
on the ponds.
So they charge them now. Good, thank you.
Public hearing dates for Cart Creek.
Okay, I have available, October 27th or November 10th at the earliest dates.
It's all ready.
I do believe, yes. Yes. We have the assessment roll and a map. How much discussion, you want to discuss it now as far as we got, I presume?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
got-
have to set the rate and the motion for, did you say November 10th.
What rate you got, Raymond?
Well, I've looked at it and there's brush in locations and the digging that needs done on it is not extensive. It mostly has a rock bottom with shelves on the side and the bottom that need removed to increase the capacity back to what it was. If the whole thing were to be, there's 13,300 feet roughly in distance. If it was all to be brushed and dug, it'd be around $109,000, $110,000, but I don't see an urgency to attack the whole thing at one time. If we had $15,000, $20,000 a year and start whittling at it, or we could go with more to go after it quicker. There's 2,700 acres roughly. If we had $5 an acre, you're looking at 13,500 a year. Or you could go higher if you go 10.
Are there any home sites on it?
There's 2 individual home sites on this portion. The other home sites are absorbed into the smaller watersheds, the Cart Creek tile, the Shoup drain, and the Robertson drains.
Renberg?
Robert Rembarg, excuse me, have home sites on them, so they don't have a home site on the open part. So $5 an acre would be sufficient, or would get it done quicker. Don't want to have a fund sitting and not get used, but
So we charging a home site?
yeah, we would. The others are paying home sites on their other tributaries, so they should have a home site also. $5 an acre and $50 a home site.
That would only bring in 13,000, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna look for a minimum.
That isn't, that's not enough to hardly get started on. But that's the point.
I don't know if Nolan, I don't think Nolan's here to put his input into it. Or if Wendell has any input into it, Wendell has ground going into it.
No, I'm fine with what you've done.
Well, how far is that a regulated drain?
Just north of 400 North and to the east or to the west of 700. Be 300, I do believe. The road numbers, oh, there we go. 400 west. West of 400 west and north of 400 north. Not quite to where Brown Ditch comes in, if you want to hand these down and keep one. If you and Gordon could share one for now and pass the others on down. Mary can keep one at the end. Like Gordon was saying, $5 doesn't put a whole lot in there to do a whole lot. It's,
Depends how fast they want to get it taken care of, you know, I know.
Or do we set it at 10
get it done and then lower it later.
and then we can lower it if they complain at the,
And if they complain too much, we'll go back
We
to
have done
$5.
hearings before where you might say $10 an acre for 3 years and then it's brought back to 5 or 7. We
You
did
always
have
come down at the
total.
hearing.
Yeah,
Can't go up at the hearing.
yeah, because we can always come down.
Advertise it at 10 and 100 and
Yep.
see if anybody complains.
yeah.
I would think a $20 minimum. If somebody's paying a ditch,
Yeah.
it should be at least $20.
Where you're collected.
4 years would be sufficient, I would think. To keep the open part open. Looks like a lot of it has been maintained, but the trees are starting to come back. So they may not want to maintain it themselves anymore.
Okay, so what dates did you have again?
Okay, October 27th or November 10th at the earliest, but I mean, we can go later as long as.
10/27 or when was November?
10, as long as we have it by the end of the year.
If we're gonna do more, I'd rather do it sooner than later. If we're gonna do more public hearings. And we have opportunity to do more.
If it's ready, let me see if it's sooner.
We have Jefferson Ditch that's ready to go.
How big is the Jefferson ditch? Roughly.
You have an idea, Cindy? I know.
Okay.
You want to do it October 13th? That's probably the earliest I can do it.
27th is okay. I mean, that still gives us 2 months to squeeze in more, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you need a motion?
Yep,
Have a hearing on
October 27th.
Cart Creek, October.
Cart Creek, yes.
27th, $10 minimum, right?
$10 acre.
$10 an acre,
$10 an acre
100 home site,
on the home site and.
20 minimum.
20. I'll make that
4 years?
4 years,
And a parcel rate.
partial rate.
$10, I would be okay with me.
Okay.
Be the same as an acre if they just have a parcel somewhere. I'm not sure if there's any parcels alone in this or not. One. I have one parcel in it.
Okay.
So 10, 100 home site, $10 parcel.
10, 10, 100, and 20.
Got it.
Been moved to have a public hearing for the Cart Creek on October 27th. Parcel $10 an acre, or $10 an acre, $100 home site, $20 minimum. Do I have a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Okay, so I just need, because I can have this map. I just need a surveyor report then when you get a chance.
Okay, now that we got the rate.
Move on to new business. Middle Fork, David DeVore and Steve Comer, maintenance request.
No, go ahead, Steve. You know far more than that I do.
Ready to come up?
Yep.
Steve Comer. There's several acres going into the Middle Fork. I guess they've started collecting maintenance. The question is presented to me, do we need to start on it? I think we should.
Where are we gonna start?
Well, okay, I think the surveyor decide, does he need to go out and take a look and see if it makes sense to, what we need to do to get a start on this? So we put it off, do we quit collecting money that,
You haven't done nothing yet.
I know you haven't done anything yet, but it needs to be done, so I guess we need to go out and make an assessment and see where we need to start at.
My biggest concern would be if any tile that are held up with water, submerged or restricted would be my first.
Well, all the way to the east side, I say there probably is.
That would be where I would.
Do what?
That is what I would like to approach first, would be open up any tile that are held back.
But to do that, you need to go to the west side and start on it and then come back east. I don't know the answer to that, I
Again,
guess.
whether it's a log jam that we can remove and open up a tile, I would say remove the log jam, but we gotta dig.
Right.
It's, have to analyze.
I would say it probably eventually needs to be dredged, and I would say
Yes.
getting started on that process would be my rather, so.
Down at the junction or down at where Waters ditch or.
I'd say all the way to the west end where it starts, so.
Okay. The Middle Fork Fund covers Middle Fork upper down to where Waters ditch comes in.
Right.
We've never assessed from that point to the county line as far as approaching that part, but that's pretty well open, I do believe,
Right.
that stretch. I think there's quite a bit of brush on the Middle Fork, right where the junction of Waters is. I think both of those could use
Right.
attention. We also have the beaver dam by Rigdon that we still need to get removed.
Right.
So whenever you're ready to do that.
Right.
Do you want to do, is that going to require an excavator work, or do you want to do that, or what?
We talked about doing that, and just the way the year has been, we haven't been there, and I don't really get excited with running across the crop to get it at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, and I don't think it's damaging anything as far as
Right.
water that's held back.
Right.
So,
So are you going to do it after harvest, or do you want the board to find somebody to do it?
No, I can try to get on that after harvest.
So this stems from the conversation that Dave and I had earlier in the year, and then continued on with Steve when they were up here. And so this thing's got $19,000 in it. It'll bring in another 30 yet this year, for a total of 48,000. And whether just let that money just sitting there and keep collecting interest, whether they wanted to get something started as this thing brings in money. So that's where this stems from. So what permission do you need to come back, to go look at it and and come back and say, hey, this is what we're gonna do.
Just turn me loose. I got other ones to look at in the process.
Get on the list.
Yeah. And so we need Dave or Steve to come up here and just initiate the process since they're on it. And that's what they're doing today, just initiate the process and
Okay.
get started.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Analyzing if you got a spot that you want me more important than other.
What do you think, Dave?
Steve, I'm gonna defer to you on that, whatever you think.
I would like to get the brush out of the way and
Okay.
then we can incorporate the spray program as we get the brush removed. So we
Right.
don't have root growth.
Right.
And my thoughts on that too, if you're gonna do the brushing, if the dredging needs done, that's the time to do it because the weeds are already knocked down. You can see it, do it quicker. We can approach it that way, brush
Right.
and dredge a section, then what we analyze and decide what needs addressed first.
Right.
You got it started. I'll get you on my,
Okay.
I'll put you in the car and it'll take me there eventually.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
Thanks, Steve.
That's Steve. Crane Pond, Wendell.
Yeah, I was wanting to get permission to hire a camera and a jet to go through Crane Pond from Virginia to New York. I stopped there on the way up here and at Virginia, we got about 3 inches of water, and at New York, we got about 21 inches of water. Don't smile, Gordon.
You from New York?
It's already in the red, but I guess we gotta do it. But where do
We gotta keep water moving.
Huh?
Yeah, we gotta keep water
How
moving.
much in Virginia? You said,
Oh, 3 inches.
When you get the guy, you're gonna get the guy from Monticello.
The guy that's always did it. Yeah,
I got a job for it.
he did it the last 3 times.
When he comes down, I got a job for it.
To get it opened up when he does it?
Yeah. But he gets it opened up, but the roots are still
In there.
in there.
And he was here a year ago, 2 years ago,
05.
25.
25.
I'm gonna say it was March 05 or April of 05.
05 or 25?
25.
25, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 05, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause, yeah, been 03 and 17 and 25.
You saw it also.
Yeah, it was definitely backed up. If I could, if they would pay or do the best they can as far as cameraing it, so that we can chronicle the junctions on those joints as far as what they are now and then what they're going to be in the future and how much growth we have in them, just for reference. I mean, they did it before. I looked at the video, you can see somewhat, but not real good. I don't know if there's a chance of getting better pictures or not. I don't know if that would cost extra to get better pictures or not.
Probably kinda hard when it's full of water.
Pardon?
Probably kinda hard when it's full of water.
Yeah, but, you know, I'm sure they're wet, backed up, so it could be another month or two before they get here.
So we just need a motion.
Where are we gonna get the money? It's already in the red.
I know.
I mean, I know it needs to be done.
No, it's just, I think it's gotta come out of general fund. It's, you know, we gotta keep water moving. Water's gotta move.
Yeah.
You know, by the time you go out there and drive around, and there's yards still with water in them and cross bases.
it's on
Okay.
maintenance, right?
Yeah.
So we could just
Can I pay it and then
collect, pay it back.
they pay me back?
We can't reimburse them.
Can't do that.
No better than
Okay.
that.
Anymore.
We like that.
We like doing it that way, but
All right.
they put a stop to it.
How much maintenance fund we got?
What's in general?
What's in general?
Yeah.
Like 200
What's in the general?
a year.
Last time I think we cost us 6,500.
What's in the general? 267,000 is in the general.
Well, we'll get reimbursed, but it need to be slow.
What does the Crane Pond pull in each year?
Crane Pond, so next year the assessment goes up. Crane Pond's gonna bring in, $29,107.
Just, it's gonna be a year.
Also gonna have to be
What do we need?
Motion.
Make a motion to let Wendell hire the crane pond and camera to see what's going on there.
Kenny second.
Been moved that we camera and jet this crane pond. Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Get her arranged.
You're welcome.
You're next again.
Pardon?
You're next again.
How to do?
Lomax.
I didn't, when we've dredged the Lomax on the north end, we have always stopped at 26th Street. And then Raymond said that goes for another 1,000 feet north. I wonder if, we could take bids and get that north part dredged.
From what I remember, the legal goes all the way up to where the Shields comes in.
Yeah, okay.
You wanna go all the way to the Shields ditch
All the way to that yeah,
junction and then
yeah.
upstream?
Our main problem is right there in the tree farm.
Yeah.
In your package, you have a picture of the Lomax and what they're talking about, where the main trees are on Miller Avenue and 26th Street. I think it's your third picture of the beacon.
Go out there and knock on the door and talk to them.
Pardon?
I'll go out there and knock on the door and talk to them.
Yeah,
Tell them it's a regulated drain and we gotta go through.
yeah, I can get you a number.
Okay.
So how many,
I like them in person.
Pardon?
I like to meet them in person instead of on the phone.
They're hard to catch out
Oh, okay.
there. Yeah, but I mean, they don't mind meeting you.
Okay.
Yeah. They've been easy to work with.
how much would you estimate? If you haven't seen it yet, so you'll know what we're talking about.
They're not real big trees, are they?
No,
Yeah, it's not gonna be that much.
no.
Okay.
Get a price.
Brush and dredge?
Pardon?
You want brush and dredge it?
Yes, please.
If it's,
Yeah, I always thought it stopped there at 26th Street. I didn't realize it went that far.
No, in the book, it goes all the way down to where Shields comes in.
Okay.
We need a motion for that or not?
That'd be like what they are, I think we just gotta get from Raymond
He
permission to
just come,
Okay,
add it to his list.
okay.
add it to the list,
the
yeah.
letter,
Yeah, well, they're gonna look at it and do the letter.
Talk to the people.
Move on, Grassy Fork, Josh Carey.
What Josh is coming up in your packet, you have the Grassy Fork off of Beacon and some notes on it. It's got yellow writing on it. You got just two, right? Yeah. Go.
I'm just proposing that we brush from State Road 26 bridge on the south side of that to 800 south. And in that area, we have in the center between the two yellow lines on that map, there's two, I call them gravel pits, they're ponds now. But we'll personally pay for that. We own those, and that'll be difficult to dredge and brush and do all that at some point in time, but it's gotta be brushed. But that area there, we would pay out of our pocket. But I assume the fund, I don't know what the fund's at right now, Doug.
The fund,
160.
yeah, 160 is shut off. It's been shut off since 2022, and then it brings in 33,000 a year.
So the fund is for this type of work, right?
Yep. Yeah. Raymond shook his head, yes.
And there's parts of this in that stretch that, one half of it is brushed, but I'd like all the trees down myself.
You own the whole stretch? Or,
We own or control all the west
the west half of that, in that stretch.
Is there someone there that's gonna be opposed to cutting the trees?
I don't think so. I would not think so. Irving's own, they own the parcel that, it says red in it, or somebody wrote red on it right there.
Go through your yellow line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just north of that yellow line. But I think every other landowner will be fine with it.
Brushed and dredged? Or just brushed?
Gordon, you would know, when was that dredged? Was it in 16, was it dredged?
Roughly, I don't know. It's
And we dredged it to State Road 13 Bridge, is where it
started, right?
started.
Yeah.
So,
Do you remember who did that?
Van Horn, I
Van
think.
Horn, yeah. I
Yes.
think it was Van Horn did it. No, Redmond, wasn't it?
No, I think it's Van Horn. Steve, do you? I think it's Van Horn.
December 20th, 2016, Redmond was paid $19,000 out of the account.
Must have been Redmond then.
No, the whole Grassy Fork was dredged. I think it's by Van Horn. It was a lot more money than that. And it was before maintenance, Doug. Because we had to do it. Remember that, Gordon? We had to do it.
Yeah.
That was just a stretch.
We collected a bunch of money to
To
do it.
collect our money, yeah.
That's what, if that was stuff like that, you guys all landowners contributed, I remember that.
And directly after the dredging, then we put it on maintenance.
Yeah, yeah.
We need Raymond, you add it to your list?
Another one put on the list.
That's all we need. Call me Raymond and all.
If you haven't seen me, call me and remind me. You will not offend me. As you can tell, my list is growing.
Yeah. Taylor Creek, oh, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say 13 inches of rain brought everybody out.
Yeah, did. Taylor Creek, Desiree and Edward Arenas,
Yep.
flooding issue.
Start out.
Hi, I'm Selena. I live in Swayze, 115 South 4th Street. My house ended up getting flooded out because of the rain that had happened. There's a tile over there. I think I'm not sure. It's been cleaned out before, but we have a flooding issue. I don't know if these are the pictures. And it had came through the culvert that is underneath the railroad, because there's a railroad, our road, and then our house. And it had totally gotten flooded out because the drain was not draining properly. And the Keys have been keeping an eye on it and helping us and stuff, so they do know about it. But I figured it would be a good thing to be brought to attention.
I'm gonna send you guys pictures that Phil Jennis gave south of the railroad that she's talking about around. Send that back over to it. Chris, you want to speak on it, Eddie? Whether you want to speak on it, Taylor, what you know about Taylor tile?
Chris, that tile is a 20-inch on the north side of 300 and goes to Taylor Creek to 300, and from 300, Bragg's put a new 24 in, almost to the railroad, right? Not quite to the railroad. Just shy of the railroad. And then we don't know what size pipe's underneath the railroad, but we're not getting any movement from the railroad to 300, which is about 400 or 500 feet. And
So is it broke
let
out
me
there
start over.
someplace?
Pardon?
Is it broke out there someplace?
No, because see, Bragg's put, let's say Bragg's put in 300 feet of 24. From 300 Taylor Creek is a 20 that's in pretty bad shape, but there's not enough trees pushed back on where Bragg put the 24 in, and the 24 doesn't go quite to the railroad. There just need to be a lot of tree removal.
Thank you.
So how hard is that gonna be to get the trees removed from there?
Needs a lot of tree removal. On the list. Look at it.
And
Now,
that's where we're going,
Hey, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
that's where we're gonna send the camera in, right? And check it out too?
Well,
Kidding?
here. I remember years ago, well, I don't know how, time goes fast. But I made notes. And I was in that 20-inch or 22 that goes back to Taylor Creek. Byron Cook come from the creek through that lot, through the gate, was a 24 when Donovich is still alive. Okay? Because Donovich, I don't know now, the field west of the house, the brick house, that ditch quit working. So we fixed it back there. And then 10, 12, 15 years ago or what, and I've still got it wrote down right here, 21 feet from the east fence. That was where Heupel's house is. And the tile, I couldn't reach it with a probe. I had to dig it with a backhoe and then probe it. And it's 5.5 or 5 foot 3 inches to the top of the tile. And I wanted to take and put Chris is back there. Get up here. Where did you find, you guys run dye through, where'd you put dye in at?
We put it in the T, that's probably 100 feet north of the railroad tracks, and it goes straight back through what that 22-inch tile is to the creek.
That tile goes over along the road.
Correct, it runs, part of it runs underneath that lane back there. Right.
Heupel's got a overflow off his house back there that runs into that ditch. That's the one that John dropped the loader in.
Okay.
But this tile, and I've asked the town of Swayze this morning, I asked the town guy, and they're not doing a very good job keeping track of maps. Ask Raymond, what did you come up with?
I found it on a plat that tile is there and goes down to 350. It shows it on the plat.
And
I would like to go down the driveway somewhere and get into the tile and jet it.
That's not the right one.
hey, Chris, I want you to talk a little bit about, you've done.
I'm gonna tell him all this bullshit about raising hell to people. Everybody in this thing has done all they could. We sent down a trash pump. I had 3 trash pumps down there hooked to this ditch, going over to another thing with fire hose. They've done everything they could. What's got to be done, as Wendell said, Nesters, the old lady Nestor, I liked her. Don't get Gordon's wife. I was nice to her, and she wouldn't let us take any trees out. When Dick Bragg come in, put the 24-inch, he went out around the trees because they were classmates. That's what it gets down to. The drainage board, if that is a county tile, which it is, goes over across field, has the right of way, 75 foot on each side. Unfortunately, I'm probably the oldest one here, but I remember Butch King used to farm that. We never had a ditching problem. And Roy Lemon could come in and put all those trees back there and sold that lot up there to Nesters to build that house. That's when when the trees went back there, that's when we started having problems. Now, I don't know what's underneath the railroad track, maybe one of them knows more than I do.
No, when the water gets down, we're gonna find out.
Huh?
When the water gets down, we'll try to find out.
There you go.
So,
But under the railroad track, my understanding is the railroad will participate in working on that. But that's not the problem. The problem is Nestor's trees is bothering you guys back here. That's bothering Phil and all those guys going over the Keys. Okay? If you get it straightened out, and like I say, the drainage board, we got, the state law says we got a 75 foot easement. If you get into the 75 easement, we can make him take part of his house on.
okay, I want to talk about a couple things here. Chris, you've done quite a bit of digging on the north side of 300 to the water plant, sewer plant. Talk about that tile, the condition of that tile.
So from Swayze Road north back to the sewer plant, it's a 22 or whatever it is, and it's in bad shape. We were into, I think, 8 different places last summer. There's a stretch in there of probably 30 feet that's actually a 15-inch galvanized culvert, and then goes back to a 20, and then a 22. It's been replaced with a 24, and it's just, I'm proposing that we go from Swayze Road to the sewer plant with a new 24. Because when it dumps out at the ditch, it's actually dumping out as an 18. So we start at the railroad track with a new 24, and we end up at the ditch coming out as an 18. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but.
I'll tell you what I would rather do than the 24. I'd rather do a 30 from the creek to the railroad track, because you got that west end of town going into this. There's a ditch on the north side of the railroad track that goes towards the elevator.
And that's another
thing. It all
thing.
stood full of water.
That's another thing. We don't know how much water the city has dumping into that tile, so.
Yeah,
So 24.
But I 24 would be nice, but that's gonna take care of things today.
Right.
If you get any development in Swayze or anything, or even on the south end, I personally think just a little more money. You're only gonna, that was put in 100 years ago. So when you put one in, put a 30 in, and then whatever you want to dump into it, you can.
Phil, hang on 1 minute.
But I'm gonna tell you, I want him or whatever, you can't reach it with a probe. 5 foot 3 inches to the top of that tile.
Steep.
I remember because I was in it and I run a tile from along the road over and went into that. I took a 6-inch tile, put it down on top of that tile, marked around it, and I drilled it. But I don't remember how long.
So Chris, do you farm on the south side of the railroad?
I do.
And how good's that tile back there?
It's a 12-inch that goes from the catch basin that dumps into this 24 that heads north. But it's a 12-inch that goes through fill, and we were into it this spring, and it is full of mud.
Phil?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
It's full of mud.
It's full. We replaced
That sewer plant,
This is going south to 350.
no, down that road is the sewer, goes to the sewer plant. I don't know what year we put that in, but I hauled the gravel out of Fox for that. And I can tell you where it comes down behind Donovan's. What's the name was up?
So here's where we're at on this deal now. It's been talked about putting a new tile in there from the sewer plant to 350. And in your packet, again, you have a picture of the Taylor tile and where Beacon says it goes to start off with. And so, there's been a call made to the railroad, to see what help they would give if the interest got high enough to cross the railroad. That was a positive conversation. Right now, we're waiting on Raymond for the legal description of where that tile is. If we get interested in replacing that tile from the sewer plant clear to the south to 350. So that's where that is now. Like Chris said, it's shot going north, it's shot going south. So once we get that legal description and get that to the railroad, then we can, if the board pleases, proceed with attempting to replace this tile.
A little bit of input. The state or the county highway replaced the pipe underneath Swayze Road. I think it was a 24 that they put in there. And then they have that new strip of 24-inch tile that is in Nestor's yard. I like Kenny's idea of increasing the size to 30, or whichever, but those were just installed new. If we put the new 30, are we gonna take out the old 24?
Well, I think that's a discussion we've had before.
Well, that old tile that's in there is 6 foot deep.
Yeah, I think that's a discussion we had before is what grade will we be on the south side? Does it need to be lowered on the south side of the road if it's possible?
Yes.
And so, if you're gonna lower it and the railroad's gonna work with us, then, my first initiation is that old 24 is not gonna be worth much if we're gonna be below grade and lower the railroad and.
Are we gonna pursue the county highway to replace the new 24 with a new 30?
Gonna have to if you go deeper.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's a step at a time. Right now, we're waiting on the legal description and the railroad and seeing what our options are there.
I'll tell you what, the problem's gonna be getting the railroad to work with you. If they'll work with you, you got half the battle.
I agree.
3/4 of the battle over.
We're gonna work at it. So there's $332,000 in the fund. Obviously, last meeting, we talked about dredging Taylor Creek North and you looking into that. Since then, it's rained and rained and rained, so we don't know much about that. So right now, the holdup is a legal description.
Yeah. Find a legal description for a later date of contractors to put it in.
Say it again.
What you gonna put in?
I'm kind of running out of time on using the money.
From Taylor Creek open to Swayze Road eventually. Find a
No,
legal
you gotta
description.
go from the railroad.
You gotta have an outlet first.
Mm-hmm. So we need that legal description.
You go from the railroad to Taylor Creek.
Okay.
We need that legal description, that's what we need. That's what we need to start at.
Description.
Now, if Wendell gets the jetter, are we gonna try to jet this out to help them
The
guys?
guy that, I had him down here, Wendell can back me up on this. The guy, I got pictures down there on my computer of this tile. The guy told me that if you don't put copper sulfate in that thing there at the railroad track, every year, I'll be back here in 11 months. And I'll tell you what, we've done a heck of a job, and I don't know if some of us been charged to the drainage board for Taylor Creek, but we found out we could get copper sulfate in those jugs at Rural King for swimming pools, and we've dumped that in there, right, Janice?
He said yes.
I think he dumped
Does it work?
I dumped it in there for as long as I was farming out there, then kind of turned it over to him. I don't know whether they quit it or not.
So do we need a motion? I think we need a motion to let the camera and guy to clean us out when they're here, so we can spend some
I
money.
want to know where that old 20 or 22 concrete, or not concrete, clay tile is that's 6 foot deep. I mean, I've been in it.
I think it's on the map. Is there not?
When we was out there ditching, what did we look into?
Well, I'm pretty sure we hooked into this tile. This tile's pretty deep in some spots. When Chris had it dug up before, we shot grade, and we can get a 2/10 grade from the creek to 300. And that's 8.5, 9 foot deep.
How far off the bottom of the ditch at the sewer plant?
I think, I don't remember that.
Taylor Creek's been clean,
Yeah, but we don't.
but it should have been sprayed every 2 years, but maybe it has, I don't know.
I mean, desirably, it's not to put a tile on the bottom of a ditch, but,
Right.
but if the grade is required, then the grade is required, and you just have to keep the open ditch.
I don't think you have to.
Okay. I mean, it'd be wonderful if there was a 1.5 fall off of the outfall of the pipe down into the open ditch, but sometimes. you
Because I'm
don't.
sure that north 100 feet is gonna have to be, I mean, we can bring it up to 10th grade and get plenty. Because if you got all the rest of it at 2/10, you're going,
Yeah, you're gonna have the force to keep it going.
yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely flatten out the lower portion, or the northern part, but the downstream part of the tile.
Okay, so you're gonna find a legal description and
And you guys are, well, you just want the board
Yeah, board's gonna vote on it.
approved to jet it.
Yep. So I'll make a motion that, when we'll let Wendell Hot hire, the company out of Muncie to come and jet this one when they do Crane Pond also.
Second.
been moved and seconded that we jet the Taylor Creek when the jetter is here. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those same signs. Carried unanimous. Pipe Creek, Don Matthews.
Don, hang on.
Good morning to y'all.
Don, hang on a minute. Mary said that you can't vote. You gotta, Kenny, Mary said we gotta re-vote on that because you gotta abstain since you're on Taylor Creek.
I'll stay.
Okay.
Yep.
Go.
Like I say, good morning. This is my first rodeo in doing anything like this. Getting older. My kids are gonna get this property that I own here for too long. And I decided to get my ducks in a row and make sure everything was up to snuff for them. And finding out that when my dad bought that property, it was 20.01 acres in that property. And we just had this survey done, and the survey shows 15.53 acres. The reason for that is I stand here and I listen to all these guys talking about poor drainage. I think my problem is too much drainage. Back when I was a kid, 7 or 8 years old, we lived down at Jalapa at Trails End. My dad had a bait house down there and we shed crawls, so I was real acquainted with the river down there, so I've been around water all my life. The reservoir was going in up there, and so we had to move out of Jalapa because that become floodplain. We moved out to Meartown, across from the administration building there. And when I was a kid, there was a node that run off of the creek back west, like in a D, off of the creek. We played in it all the time. Well, when the reservoir got finished, that disappeared. At some time they come through and they drain the creek or dredge the creek out. That little node disappeared. You know? So here, 8 years ago, the property sold across the creek. They got a new survey done, and their survey shows the middle of Pipe Creek is the boundary line. That's not correct. What correct was the little node. There's 5 acres that run on the other side of the creek that run around there. That over the years has just disappeared because it dried up, the main creek. When I was a kid, they had dredged that earlier before we bought the property, before we moved there, because that woods was so thick you could not get through it. But I could go down that dirt mound where they had dredged the creek to get from one end to the other. And it stops at one end of our property, north and south. Yes, north and south. So that made that little node disappear. So that's what they're saying, that Pipe Creek is and it's not. That's not. I played in that creek when I was a kid all the time, and well, that's where the girls like to play, back there in the D, because the main creek was too deep for them. So what I am asking is, each one of you would like to take one of those. They can't find the boundary line, or they're saying the boundary line is the middle of the creek, of Pipe Creek. On my deed and abstract, it doesn't say a word about Pipe Creek being the boundary line to the west. It says the creek is what it says. And what they're referring to is that little node that ran around that dried up after the reservoir got all done, the waterways all dropped. And so that's where I'm at today. I say I had to start somewhere, so this is where I'm at.
Let's just back to us going on these old, really drainage easements. Where the ditch was, we need those recorded. Okay. That's from
60 years old.
Matter of fact, of course, Mike remember, we had Gary Drew go over there and do something down there on that creek.
Yeah.
This is the survey.
Somewhere, yeah.
I don't
know what it was now. Yeah.
You don't know what it was?
Gordon or Rich or Raymond, do you understand what he wants?
Is this something I need photocopies of? 'Cause
I'm lost. Tell me what he wants.
Okay.
Does he want his property lowered, or?
No,
He wants to know where the boundaries,
he's wondering where his 10 acres went.
he wants
It's
to,
5 acres.
where the boundaries that
So Don, are
his
you,
deed
I
says,
agree. Why did it move?
his deed says over to the middle of the creek.
No, it's,
And they moved the creek.
Did the creek move?
They just deepened it.
did they straighten the creek out, is what they did?
Apparently they did, because that's what that dirt mound is. The dirt mound is all on my side, on the east side of the creek. I don't know when that happened. My dad always swore that the Army Corps engineer done that when they was putting the reservoir in. I have no idea, but that's what he swore.
So
That's Pipe Creek.
what can be done about
The
it?
very first one.
Well, that one, you know,
I know, but I'm just saying,
We don't deal with property lines.
Yeah,
well, we're gonna have to.
so,
We're gonna have to.
well, no, we don't deal with property lines.
Where the Old Creek was.
Are you saying you lost acres? Because
Excuse me,
Online, you still own 20.01 acres.
We can improve.
20.01.
That's what you paid taxes.
Yes, that's what I have for 60
Finding
years.
But his new survey,
Ditch.
where was the old creek?
I
15,
don't think we have any.
right?
I've got the new survey.
And it says
Yes, sir.
15.
Right here.
Okay.
And this,
When was the survey done? When was the survey done?
Each one of you can have one. I had it.
Now,
right off
When
my
was survey done?
Don, when was the survey done?
Just last week, a couple weeks ago.
So you don't need to come drain, I mean, the drains board don't have nothing to do with the property line.
No.
So which office you want to go to?
Kenny has an avenue that may, if
I'd like to.
If the old ditch that he refers to, the side ditch to Pipe Creek used to be the original Pipe Creek. In the legal description in the old books, it may have that described in the old description. Because when I did talk to some people from Miami County, when I was over there on a log jam on Pipe Creek, they referred to the Pipe Creek getting dredged. They were old enough that their parents remembered it getting dredged. I don't know what year that was, but the Miami County surveyor drainage may be able to put more light on what year that was, because it was a lot more extensive in Miami County than it was in Grant County. I would presume it'd be about the same time that they did the blasting and boring, or the blasting by Roseburg in Pipe Creek, when they were knocking that limestone out to get more depth. May have been the same time frame, but it's a stretch as far as us, the drainage board and surveyor are pursuing property lines. But we might be able to find a legal description for the old ditch. And if his description for his land goes to the middle of the creek, that would be the old creek, not the current creek.
As you can see,
Is there a discrepancy on the gentleman's property on the west side of Pipe Creek? Has he gained 5 acres?
when he came and introduced himself to me, he wanted to borrow my name left, but he introduced himself, and I asked him, I said, do you know where the boundary lines are? Did they show you where the boundary lines are? He said, well, yeah. I said, where is it to the east of your property? He said, the middle of the creek. I said, you're exactly right. That is exactly right. I said, which creek? And he looked at me real funny. I said, it's not a loaded question, trust me.
Did his acreage go up when he purchased
Yes,
that
sir.
ground?
In fact, on Don Wimmer's survey that she has got, it said that he had to adjust the acreage. And he could not find a locating point on 18, so he put his own locating point in the center of the bridge. Because it was in chains and
Rods.
yes, and he said it wasn't clear. Well, I understand that. Mine's in chains but they're not off 25%.
From your memory of the old ditch, that was the property line.
Yes, sir.
Does that hit 18 at a different location than it currently does?
No.
The same place on the north and the south both? The Pipe Creek Old and Pipe Creek New, where they go through 18 and the other road to this property to the south, are those the same locations?
Yes.
Okay, so the bridges didn't move on it? It's
No, nothing has been moved.
just a ditch in between?
My dad said that was put in like 2 years or 3 years before we moved there. And that's when all the reservoir was going in up there. I would like to show you a map that I've got from 1938. It shows Ken Jones's property to the north of my property, which is our boundary line. And it's in yellow, and it shows his property on the other side of the creek. It extends on the other side of the creek. Well, if you look at that, the wood line is all together. And that was all bottom land. That was always wet down there. When we moved there was water halfway up the field behind the house before, you know? Then they got the reservoir done. Well, that took care of the water. And, but this map shows where they surveyed, I don't know when or why, but Ken's property, and it goes, and it all matches together with mine. That was all one big piece of property there at one time. And I've got all the records of when it was sold off, the auction, how it was measured.
I think you'd have a legal pursuit if you were to the property across the creek.
Thank you.
The property across the creek that gained acreage. If you can prove that that acreage was that same acreage lower for a long period of time, and then magically they gain 5 acres worth of ground, and you lose 5 acres of ground, I would think you would have a pretty good footing right there.
If you look at this, there is nothing that has been moved since we bought that property. State Road 18, County Road 800 West. Ken and I know where our line is. There's only one place that property could be missing, and that's on the other side of the creek. I don't know, Don Wimmer, like I say, in his explanation, he said he couldn't find markers, so he put markers, you know, where he thought they should be.
The extent that I would have to look into the books to find a legal description for where the old Pipe Creek went through and then possibly not find it, I think you have a better footing legal-wise to go with the amount of acreage that has changed hands for no reason. That would be my suggestion.
Who's the ground on the other side?
Excuse what?
Who's the ground on the other side? Where'd the 5 acres go?
On the other side of the creek.
Didn't it? Yeah, but.
Who is it?
That far?
It's a guy named Schmidt, whoever that. Yeah, some guy named,
Jason, Susan.
You know,
yeah.
Not really anything we can do about it. No.
yes, sir. We can know where the old creek was. I'll tell you something.
But we gotta find record of where the old creek was.
People buy farms today, years ago had fences through them. That was the boundary line. Whenever you buy a farm today, you ought to have the thing surveyed.
Yep. I
With a
agree.
legal description.
See, that was my point. Pipe Creek has been Pipe Creek forever, okay? Why would they have not put on this deed in abstract, a legal document, used a legal term as Pipe Creek as the boundary line, and it doesn't say that. It says the creek.
It may not have had a name at that time.
Oh, 60 years ago? It's been Pipe Creek.
60 years ago, it probably had, well,
Yeah, it's been Pipe Creek for a long time.
60 years ago, it had that name, because it went through our stone.
well, yeah, it's on their plats there in the 40s.
So where are you gonna send him to? Are you gonna get a legal description?
That's not a priority, and you guys gave me at least 3 more things to do today.
Where you wanna send him
Well,
to?
I would pursue, do you already have a lawyer?
I do not. They told me to come talk to you guys first.
You need to see the law.
who knows about legal?
To find his 5 acres. He lost 5 acres.
25% of what's
Yeah.
supposed to be there.
How we could do anything.
I don't know, we can't. We could find Pipe Creek, but that's not gonna solve the,
Where his acreage went.
yeah, necessarily. And we don't know if we can find Pipe Creek. I would go with the total acreage argument that they gained 5 acres on the other side. For what reason? How did they?
Because the poor survey.
Especially if it sold whatever acreage it was, if it has changed hands and stayed that same acreage until this guy comes along 5 transactions later and boom, he gains 5 acres. Just that last transition to go 5 acres more should be illegal.
And there's only one transaction that's ever happened, and it's this one now.
It sounds like you're gonna have to get a lawyer involved and take it to court.
Yeah.
I know.
We need to find,
Nothing that we're gonna decide is gonna change that guy's mind on the other side of the creek from you.
Can you
we need to
tell
find
me
out.
who you would have to notify on if you was gonna go in there and take the logs out the other side that need to come out now? Who would you have to notify? Would you have to notify me? Or would you have to notify them? Because on that one that she's running copies off on, I have seen that before where the creek all belongs to me. The line is just on the other side of the creek. I've seen that several times. Now, what all that is about, I don't have no idea. But I say, it still says 20.01 acres and I've got 15.23 is what they're saying.
We need to find out where Pipe Creek changed.
From the old channel to the new channel.
I tried to go back there the other day when we got all the rain to show you exactly how the water run around there, but I was too late. I had to wait through some more.
Army Corps may have records. The Army Corps may have been who changed the creek.
And where are they located?
Louisville, Kentucky.
How terrific.
I think you could probably Google it and get a phone number to call and talk to somebody.
Okay.
But they would have been the ones that would have moved the ditch more likely.
Okay.
The description may be in the books. We got 43 books that go back, but finding that definitely, that's a shooting in a barrel at a fish.
Like I say, it amazes me that nothing could change. I mean, with State Road 18 and 800 West, and then it used to be Leo Presser was our next door neighbor, and now it's Ken Jones. Roy Druck owned it. But even Mitch Cook, when he come down and dipped the creek out for me, I helped him out for a couple days down there. He said, Don, he said, it shows your property line over on the other side of the creek. I said, show me. Well, he never did produce it, but that's what he told me.
Yeah, I've looked for this, and I was not able to find anything definite to prove where Pipe Creek was. We have section cards that I've looked in for this.
Like I say, it wasn't, I don't think it was called Pipe Creek, that little node back there. It was just neither one could support all the water, took both of them, and then when they dredged the creek out, that little one disappeared. So, Army Corps Engineer, Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, if you Google it, you'll get a phone number.
That would be wonderful.
There very well could be a branch in Indy or,
Indianapolis.
but
Good luck.
You need the rest of those?
That's in what they.
property in it.
Yeah, I can't find anything. Yeah, I don't.
Public safety.
What is your property's name of you?
Maybe that's why I put 2 T's.
Okay, she got it. You're trying to pull up your property.
Okay.
There's only 1 T.
Thank you.
1 T.
We're not right? We're not right?
Yeah.
Two different topics.
My fence.
You want this?
But they
When
changed
you
it.
put a farm in, it's automatic.
Okay, you guys ready to go on?
Yeah, we were talking.
Any comments from the public?
You want that back?
You know, like,
Okay.
My name is Max Middlesworth. Thank you for letting us present our watershed for the Lumbo watershed. A little background on our group and the landowners. Harold Harvey and his sons, they stalled pipe in Indianapolis and moved dirt all around Indianapolis. Ron Newhouse, Ron Cates, and Dave Bettany's all have ditch machines and excavators, along with Millsworth Farms excavators. And we know how to put in tile, we know how to move dirt. This group has a lot of experience in tiling, and between them, probably have around 8,000 acres of pattern tile ditching. So we're familiar with the pattern tiles and the system ditching. And so that you understand the depth of the experience of this group, which made it easier for our group when we start meeting. This group only had 2 meetings with all the farm landowners. And Doug and Kenny also attended the meetings too. We had them come. And we had 100% commitment and pledges of all farm ground owners. So that's, Kenny always said, that's the hardest battle, is getting the money or moving the trees out of the way. We got both of them taken care of. Don't have a lot of trees to move, but we will have some, we stick it in there. With Doug's help, and we designed the ditch, and then talked about sub-mains and stone, and that's all covered. Some of the grade is at 1.25, some grade is at 1.5, some grades at 1/10, with enough cover to make everything go. Steve Miller has met and talked to the landowners, dug holes and shot grade with the lasers, not with just LiDAR, but with the laser itself, and found a lot of tiles. I think he even worked with Gordon on your ditch, didn't he, Steve Miller?
Yeah.
So he's a trusted.
One I paid in, you know.
Yeah.
Assessed, yeah.
The ditch has a coefficient of ½ inch west of 13 and east of 13. On the north, it's got a coefficient of 3/8, and on the east side of 13, the south drain has a coefficient of ½ inch. So 3/4 of this watershed has a coefficient of ½ inch. Here's the problem. When we get to the east of 13 on the south hole, the highway's got a 24-inch tile going under it, and that puts us back to a 3/8 coefficient. So that is a problem to get to a ½ inch coefficient, which we would all like to get there. I'd like to get to even more than a ½ inch coefficient. Right now, we have a 137-year-old tile, bad shape. I would imagine I could run about the same amount of water through an 8-inch tile as we're running right now. And we're draining 580 acres or so in it. We don't have much. We'll run estimated 100 times more water. Even if we have to give up a little coefficient at the highway, we would run 100 times more water than we're running now. And if you think about the coefficient of a 1/16 of an inch of water that it would drain in 24 hours, you know, plus what we could get now, you know, that to me is worth pursuing. What we'd like to do is get this passed. We've got the tile company. They've been holding out with our price, and they're not going to hold out a lot longer. And we talked about privatizing this ditch. And if we go with the whole project right now, in 2 to 3 years, I can get all 22 houses with pretty new tile, get all the farm ground with new tile, and reach everybody that's putting money into this thing. And we haven't talked to the houses yet, but I will talk to the houses. But if we keep worrying about getting this thing to 13 and get it under 13 at a ½ inch coefficient, then it might be 3 or 4 years before we get all the houses hooked up.
I got a question right there. Have you talked to anybody at the highway department to see if they're gonna do anything to that road in the future?
That works, that is in the works.
Okay.
Okay,
So, say in 4 or 5 years, if they replace that road, you could get your ½ inch coefficient then, right? Maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of brings up a problem. We're coming to highway with a 36, and we go under the highway and we drop into a 24. Now, if you think about it, the 24 that's draining won't have any pressure on it at that point. So it might even run more water than what we've even figured. It might, I don't know, I've not been inside a tile very often, but I think it'll run more water. But if we run a 30 up to the east side, and then we run a 30 on the other, or 36 on the other side, then we would be putting it through a 24-inch hole into the highway. So I don't know if but there's other options too. We got 2 tiles crossing the highway, and we could actually take some of the water off one side and put on the other side. And we've also got a kind of a unique thing too. The 24's got a manhole on the east side of the highway, and if it would come a big rain like it did last week, it will spew out, go through a viaduct under the highway and run into the 36 and not even be on top of the ground then, which is not ideal, but it would be on all concrete all the way. It just would be inside of a tile. And so it's not ideal by any means, but what I'm thinking is that we need to get going, or otherwise we're gonna lose our price on our tile. And Steve Miller bid this for a summer job, and we've only got about another month left before he'll be busy. Now, we got a lot of other guys that can do this, but we haven't had any bids. He's done the legwork. So what I'm wanting you to do is to privatize this tile, so I know you're on my side, and then we can change this as we go. What I'm thinking is we start digging and we start heading towards the highway, and Doug calls me and says, hey, the highway is going to meet us over here. I don't mind stopping the project and giving some of my money to put a bigger hole under the highway, but I don't want to wait 2 or 3 or 4 years on the highway to decide what they're doing, and we lose lots of money, and these 22 houses don't have the drainage. So I want the project to start, and then we'll work with you, and work with Raymond, and work with Camacho. We'll work with everybody. This is not etched in stone, but I need you to privatize this tile. I can't collect any money. I can't call somebody and collect money. I got it all promised, but I can't call them unless it's privatized. So I got to have this thing privatized so I could get my job done. We can tell Springfield we're on board, and then we'll tell Springfield the only thing we'll do different is we may buy bigger tile instead of what we've ordered. And I don't think they'd have a problem with that either. So that's what I'm here to ask you, to privatize this tile so we can get this going. If you don't privatize it, I can't do anything. The price goes up 30, 40,000. And then if you think about it, even with my age or the age of the people that's given the money, once somebody is passes, then we're in an estate and can't grab the money. We can build this thing tomorrow if we get it privatized. That's what I'm asking you, to privatize this ditch today so we can make this thing go and everything's kosher. And then we'll still work with everybody to get what we need. And I'm willing to give up. But right now, Mark and I have all the ground on the 3/8 coefficient. That's 100 times better than what we got now. So I'm just asking you to give a little bit on that, and we will get it to a 1/2 inch coefficient if at all possible, and the highway will work with us. And the money, to me, is not the problem. Time is the problem.
Have you talked to Fort Wayne or?
Now, Doug's got some calls in, and
Why don't you speak to that, Raymond?
I talked with the county highway yesterday, and they got in contact with the state highway department. And the gentleman that's in charge of doing this, from the way I understood it, he's already put it in the works to start analyzing and engineering what that needs to be done to go across that with the bigger tile.
Yeah, and that's good, and we will get that. We need to start digging, and I think what'll happen is, Steve will get partway across, and then he's got other commitments, and this project may stop for 3 months until he gets other commitment done. So as long as we got the grade right going to the highway, and we'll get the grade right, we'll come in a little bit under so we can do a 36 under the highway, and we want a 36 under the highway. I just don't want to be waiting on time.
If you privatize this, Then when the project's all done, what do? Turn it back over to drainage board or what?
Oh, yeah, yeah, like you did one of the other tiles you talked about. The thing about keeping this thing going and the way the money's coming in, we don't have a brand new ditch to every one of these farm owners. That was my goal, to get one to everybody's farm. Glenn Tinkle, we're a little bit of ways. Charlie Weaver, we're a little bit of ways. But there's another tributary of this ditch that in 1 year from now, if we stop the project and make it bigger, it may take 3 or 4 years. But if, let's just say we go with the 24-inch all the way to where we're going, next year we'll come back and do the Pennington streak and pick up the 10 houses on NOOS and get them all in good shape. So I can get all 22 houses. If we stop at 13 right now, we're only picking up 1 house. If we go on down to Kathy Thompson's, we're probably picking up another 10 houses. And then next year, we do the Pennington stretch, and I pick up another 10 houses. And so the whole project could be completed in 2 to 3 years, the way it's designed. But we could make it go longer, and we're willing to. Mark and I, we're the ones giving up a little bit of time on this. But if we know we're going to get a bigger ditch under the highway, it could be worth it in the long run. I'm just worried about the age of all my landowners, and even my age. And I can't start collecting money until you privatize it. So if we wait another week and they raise the price of tile $30,000, then we're talking a lot of money for this tile. 30-inch tile, they don't give that stuff away. And
I got a question.
We can get this going.
I got a question.
Okay.
You're talking about splitting this thing and going through 2 tiles. Are you talking about the circle tile down there that goes across Lorry?
No. This 9th Street.
Yeah.
There's another one that comes across north of Eddie's place. That's the one he's talking about.
Okay.
And I think it may have a name. We think on the map, the Pennington tile's at the wrong spot.
It goes into Taylor Creek, right?
Yeah, it don't goes Taylor Creek. But my hands are tied until it's privatized, because I can't collect any money. And all the landowners, we've raised the price one time, and most of them have said, if we raise it again, they're done. It's a done deal. We want this project to go. We can move water together, and we're not etched in stone on this 3/8 coefficient on our side. But I'm not gonna have the highway department wait 4 years or something to dig under there. I know how slow some of them things can be. I mean, we'll all be dead by the time that thing gets under there in some cases. Once I get a date, the money to me is not the problem, it's the date, it's the time. Time is an essence for me right now.
I appreciate you guys doing this as a private deal. You know, and having your meetings and stuff. That's the best way. The drainage board don't want to participate in this thing.
Right.
You know.
And we won't cut you out. We're gonna work with you.
But I just think that you guys need Coos Raymond or whatever, county highway. I just think that you get more action out of the state highway. I know they've changed politics.
Yeah. And we will. We want 36 under the highway.
You know, I think getting
But with some of my landowners, I'm thinking, if we don't get something now, and I could live with a 24 under the highway and get something versus 1 or 2 of them pass away, and
I understand.
Then we got 0.
It's been that way for years, 100 years.
But I got 22 houses that I can help out too. So we're talking about helping out a lot of people here.
And that 24 under there that you're talking, currently it goes into a tile that's not 100% open. So, I mean,
that's true.
Just by putting an open tile downstream from that crossing, you're relieving that crossing.
Yeah.
Except for extreme rain events.
Right now, we've got probably 19-inch tile. They had different figures back in 1889.
You got a bunch of trees over right there, 13 and
Those are all off.
9th Street.
Oh, you're 9th Street.
Huh?
Got it.
So we've got a 19-inch tile that we fix on our farm. Every year we fix 2 or 3 places. And it's half full of dirt, water running slow. It's probably running about the same as a brand new 8-inch tile, and it's draining 500 and some acres. So we got basically nothing now. You talking about coefficient, that rain we just got will probably take 45 days to get down to the creek.
Well,
You know?
I drove around the watershed the other day
Yeah, it's
and,
pretty wet, wasn't it?
well, I was surprised at how small amount of water was actually standing.
Well, if you think about it,
Because you're draining it through bad tile right now, and it basically took it away. You're wanting to put in a brand new open tile is gonna do a better job than what you got sitting there. Even if you ran a new 12, it would be more than what you have with your
Oh, yeah.
eight capacity.
I'm not even sure the 8's even a smooth wall I'm talking about.
So, I mean,
It's a single wall.
I expected to see water standing against the road and everything out there when I drove by there, but I didn't see
Well,
that.
probably the reason you did it, we've got 1.5 grade from 100 to Eddie's place. And so once we got over a 2-inch rain, we're not using the tile no more. We're running on top of the ground.
Yeah.
So basically, when you talk about coefficients and bigger tile, how much water is going under the ground and how much water is going above the ground? That's basically all we're talking about here.
And then you get elevation drops and
Yes.
inlets and
Yes,
what's holding the water back.
You understand exactly what it is.
Variables in this situation.
So we have enough grade that's why there's not just ponds of water standing, because we got enough grade to kind of get it down to where there's just some ponds standing. And our ground is not ponding, we don't have any ponding areas in any of our fields that is like a lake.
Right, I did.
So now Eddie's got some over there that's in trouble, and we're gonna relieve it some too.
North of his barn.
Yeah, clear back in the middle of the section.
Tries to go through the Pennington.
Yeah. And I'm saying in a year's time, with this thing collecting 20,000 a year, we will stick that in next year. So it depends on whether the highway would be a little efficient, and they might be. I don't know if the right people talk to them.
When we worked on the Simon's ditch down by 26 and 69, I think it was less than a year by the time we contacted them to the time they had it in.
Yeah. And if we can get a date like that, then Mark and I will be in favor of a bigger tile under the highway. And it'd put us off a year, but a year's okay. I just don't know if this 1 to 5 years, and I need it privatized today so I can start collecting money tomorrow.
What does that necessarily mean, privatized? What does that?
I think, I could make a motion, but we just turn this over to the landowners.
To do the project?
To do the
And then when
project.
The project is complete.
And I promise you, I'm working with you. I'm not working against you,
You're not after bad drainage, you're after better
Yeah,
drainage.
we're all here to move water.
Exactly.
That's our point. And we can move water together. That's what we can do.
And so Raymond, from the get-go, you wanted Camacho to look at this.
Yeah, just an observation of because this is the first map that I've seen.
Yeah. I had a couple calls into you last week, and I was going to meet with you.
I was a busy person.
And I knew you was busy. I knew you didn't coming back, and that was fine. But we will still meet with you. And that's not a problem either.
Okay.
I can't collect any money until you privatize this thing. And if I don't get the money collected pretty soon, I might even be deceased, I'm 75, so.
And to be clear, Max, you're wanting the money out of the Lumbo account to help pay for some.
Well, yeah, that's our money too. Yes.
You want, and that's
what you guys gotta vote on,
Yeah.
to release money to Max to use.
What's our 90,000 in there?
80,750, and I think brings in another 6,000 this fall. So
No, I even did it for one hole.
I don't know, I got a question. So still, some people, what I'm hearing,
They pay me.
what I'm hearing, some people, they're not gonna be for it if they go too big, because it's gonna cost more money.
Well,
Am I right?
Well, we're talking time and money. The count brings in 20,000 a year. These people have already said they're not going to raise it again. If I call them and say we raise it another $200 an acre, they're out.
Yeah.
So it's either gonna go or not go. I mean, that's where we're at.
And Max has done a good job raising the money, because you got, okay.
Unbelievable.
Well-
When I raised my hand here 4 weeks ago, I really didn't think this project could go, because I thought, how am I gonna talk 18 people into letting $700,000 go out of their pocket right now?
Does that 700,000 include the money in the account?
Yes.
Okay.
700,000 per project.
So he's got.
It might get bigger. If we go under the highway, it'll get, depend on who pays for under the highway and depends on the
Highway
extra
does.
tile.
The state highway pays for under the highway.
If they'll pay for it, we're probably talking adding 40,000 to it, which might take another year or two to get clear to the end, and the Pennington ditch would be 4 years down the road. So we're just talking time, because we're not raising it anymore. These people aren't gonna raise it. I mean, they're out.
What the state highway's gonna say, if you do this thing right and get with Fort Wayne's got to get with Indianapolis, politics of this thing, they're gonna say, do you want to bore it or do you want to cut it? They say, well, you're only gonna have it shut down for 3 or 4 days.
If the state's doing it, we don't care how they do it.
Now, Raymond, down on the Simons Tile, they opened it, right?
It was an open cut on the Simons on State Road 26.
And they paid for it.
They paid for it.
Okay, so on that, did they have a minimum, they set the grade to where they wanted it, or?
They engineered it.
Yeah, so on your, so somewhere we have to know, or you have to know what grade you're gonna hit
Yes.
if we're gonna pursue the highway cutting it. We're gonna pursue the highway either way.
Let their two engineers talk together.
Yeah, and that's where we gotta get to.
We got a 1.1 grade to Taylor Creek, and could even get more with a little dredging or brushing. So we could come in under it.
Well,
We don't wanna go less than 10th grade.
the way I understand the gentleman we're dealing with is out of Gas City, or out of Gas City's location.
Well, that'd be good.
We're getting better.
So, but what I need to do, I mean, I can't collect any money until you privatize it. And once we start, I just gotta know where the grade's at, and then we could stop at the highway and wait on them. I don't mind waiting on them. I don't like 3 and 4 years down the road. So we're talking no project or a big project.
I don't like the idea of the water coming out of the new tile to go underneath the highway to go back in the new tile. But with the tile downstream being poor efficiency at the moment, if that was replaced from Taylor Creek up to State Road 13, the outlet is going to be extremely better, and you're only going to have that 24 that is currently there overloaded on extreme rain. So I would be in favor of go ahead and doing it and change it on both sides, and when the highway gets there, let the highway put the new connection in and do it at that time.
Do you still want Camacho to look at this before release it?
I wouldn't mind it, but I don't think it's necessary. Like he said, they're all experienced, or most of them are experienced tile people. They're wanting the best result out of it. They know what they need to look at. They know where the pockets of water are. If they do it wrong, they're the ones that are going to pay the consequences.
And we got other options too, even if we go across the highway with the existing 24 now. We could come back in 4 or 5 years and bore 20 under the highway and add to it. We can also go to the north ditch to relieve it. And I don't know how many ditches I'm familiar with that actually go from a 24 to a 36, and how much pressure would be relieved on that tile to start with, clear to the creek. So, and then if it's not relieved, it comes out the manhole and goes under the highway through a culvert, and everything's really on concrete all the way. I don't like that either, but it actually, it's just not a tile, it's just.
It may be something to give the state highway more urgency to get it rectified.
Once we get to 13 and get it all done, I don't really expect that tile to really relieve itself any, but it might. I've been told that under the highway is a 24-inch petrified tile, which is smooth. What are they, 4 foot long or something?
They can vary, I think, but
that smooth core is going to run some water. I mean, smooth core runs water faster than clay or petrified tile. There might be a little pressure right there, but since it's relieved on the other side of the highway, I think it'll just go. And so,
Except for an extreme rains,
yeah.
my thoughts.
Well, if it's coming over on top of the ground all the way anyway, you won't even know the riser's oozing out any. It's gonna be running under the highway.
What are you gonna propose to 13? A 30, 36?
36 all the way from Taylor Creek to 13.
Okay.
That's not changing. That won't change any, no matter what happens.
That's not gonna change.
That's not changing. It's just from, when we get on the east side of the highway, we can pick up a couple 80s on a little bigger tile. So if this all comes true, we come out of the highway with the 30, and we go under with 36, drop down to a 30, and go over and pick up a couple more 80s and get this thing way over a half-inch coefficient, just like that.
We're spending, all we're approving, you're gonna spend the money.
Yeah, we're not asking for any money. Well, we want the money in our account, but I can't just call somebody and ask them for 50,000 if it's not
I
private.
understand that, but I've heard a couple concerns, if you're gonna go too big, they're not gonna be in favor of it. Is that true?
Well, he's addressed some concerns.
You've already increased it from what you originally
Yeah.
thought, correct?
I think they're pretty well up on what's going on.
Well, I talked to Ryan Cates yesterday.
I don't think we've increased any tile sizes. Maybe go ahead and ask a question.
Well, Ron's concern was that if you go again, I don't know what figures you're using, if you're gonna up it again, they won't be in favor of it.
Up the money,
Yeah,
not the tile size.
well, yeah, I don't know about tile sizes, but the money.
Okay, from 13 for maybe 1,000 feet or 2,000 feet, we would put a 30 in instead of a 24. Then it'd go right back to where we was at. So it's just a short section to get the coefficient and move a little more water under the highway.
But that's in your 700,000.
The 30 inches on the east side of the highway is not in our 700,000. But that's just time too.
Yeah.
Like I said, if we can get that under the highway and get us a date, then we could come to the highway and stop. And as long as we got a date and we got some commitments from the highway, we're on board.
And then the other thing they're pushing up against is a Lumbo will not collect past this year.
Right.
Unless there's some money spent out of it. So,
But you privatize today, we'll get the money out.
well, and so that will give, if they get so much money spent out of the account, that'll get, that to collect next year and get another 20,000 in the account.
Right, but
Yeah.
but that'll be, tomorrow we could start ordering tile and they'll want payment on it. And we could get stone coming and that count won't stop. But we just gotta be able to go and dig. That's all we want.
Only thing I got, okay, Ron.
Yeah,
Ron, you wanna talk?
to clarify the conversation we had at that meeting, the last meeting, the talk was if we have to pay for boring the highway and upsize the tile in the vicinity of $150,000, could be 140, could be 160. And what I voiced to Gordon is, I don't think our people are gonna pay that 150. Now, if we can do it over a period of time and delay the project, that's another thing. But I don't think we can go back and ask for more money.
Well, we've been told not to. I mean,
Okay.
a couple of them said they're done. I mean, if we raise again, they're walking.
Okay, well, it's better to have an undersized and have a tile working, and we'll approve you guys are gonna approve what you do.
Well, that puts a kink in it, then they're reliant on the state highway
Yeah,
putting it in for free, which we don't know at the moment for certain.
Well, the
I mean,
highway
they have
says
done it
they
in the past. I didn't talk to that person directly. I don't know if that person has the authority to approve it.
We'd heard that through some other people that they would take care of some. So, yeah, you're right. It's just, that's iffy. But also too, if we know we have a date, like I said, I'm more worried about time than the money. But the money's a problem, but the time is more of a problem.
I'll tell you what. This thing, the state highway is Him. Hell, you might as well go on the street and get somebody to talk state highway. Somebody's gotta sit and go to the state highway, know what's going on.
We are, so we're working through the county highway, because they have the contacts for this. And so I think Raymond and I have both talked to the same person at county highway, and we've heard the same story. And so I think it's optimistic that there is a chance that, how would you word it? We haven't been told no yet.
Past projects would say that they pay for it. I mean, I've known the Davisons that had one down across 22 was installed at no cost to them. And then the Simmons that was put in at no cost to the ditch. So I would think, but I can't swear to what the state's going to do.
Well, the state may say, hey, you can cut the thing.
As
But
long as
He's the right guy.
Even if he says we can cut it and they don't pay for it, there's still cost involved. They want flowable fill all the way to the top, and it's not free. But if it's free, it's better yet.
Yeah.
But we might even entertain a not free if we have a date and we can go. But I just got to start collecting this money, get this going, and this thing's rolling, and we can make it roll. We can move water together. And this will probably be your easiest project you've ever worked on if you just let us go. And we will confer with you, we'll work with you. It's not like let us go and heck with you guys. It's not that way.
Hold on a minute. I don't know if we can we vote on it since they're not on the agenda?
We can do anything we want.
Yeah, you got a quorum legally, you can vote on it.
Something else we gotta vote on.
Plus, I have a motion that we let them go. Kenny made a motion to let them proceed with their project.
I will second it. Then I got another.
Been moved and seconded.
Does that mean the funds go through the drainage board secretary, or are the funds strictly theirs?
Say what?
Are the funds going to be run through Mary and Dunn, or are they going to be theirs to?
Hey, if you guys would run it through that account, that'd be great. I mean,
They have to get it with no tax, right?
we can, I can open an account and I can run it through, and I'll have somebody with me to protect me. But if you guys can run it through, and we don't have to decide that this minute, we can talk about it tomorrow.
Richard brought up a good point. If they're running through the drainage board, they don't have to pay taxes.
You don't have to pay tax on it then.
We don't pay tax on time.
Yeah, that's over.
They quit charging that 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
Ohio was first, we was second, but that's a good deal.
However they want to do it.
I want the project to go. And I hope
Appreciate that.
that you guys can get together and make the project go, because you need it.
Yeah.
I think they would be better off for scrutinizing max-wise and money-wise if it went through the drainage board.
Oh, that'd be great.
And there was a record of it that way.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I'd just leave not be in charge of that. Yeah. And a couple of us will watch, when say Steve turns in a bill or something, we'll scrutinize it, make sure it's kosher and Mary can pay it. That'd be great. I just didn't know what was legal. I didn't know if you could, this is kind of like not an assessment, but it is.
It's a landowner contribution.
It's money up front.
Okay, landowner contribution.
Yep.
It's all in the wording.
Yeah, and I can get with Mary and we can send out the bills and
Okay.
that'd be great. I love that.
So we have a motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
No, I got.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Whoa, don't run off.
Hey, Matt, just get with me.
Taylor Creek to the 9th Street Bridge, they're wanting to go in with the 30 or 36 or something. Right. In Taylor Creek.
36 in Taylor Creek.
Right. You're wanting Taylor Creek clean north to,
Well, there's a little tributary that's got some brush in it, and then it's pretty clean clear to NOOS.
well, but it's,
But yeah, where we're going in, we'll
we
eventually,
need to get with Howard County.
Taylor Creek's all in Graham. Taylor Creek goes north of Converse into Pipe Creek. And Pipe Creek goes into Miami County.
So Kenny Taylor, we talked about Taylor Creek last meeting, and we're waiting on Raymond to come back and say, hey, this is what we need to dredge, and don't dredge on it.
Well, what I'm saying is, we need to take bids on cleaning Trailer Creek on North. But it's all in, they're in Denny and Howard County? Okay.
We got money in there?
Yeah.
We got money.
Yeah, there's 300,000 in Taylor Creek.
Well, we're not gonna have that much. Don't use that place.
Yeah, yeah.
Anybody have anything else?
Especially you go through this.
But you're sure that Howard County had got anything in?
I got a question. Gentleman coming to the podium.
Hey, you got a question, or what do you got a question on?
On
Clear this up.
Herb's tile, the tile was broke down, draining very poorly. We went in and jetted it. I dug down to make a access point and we're out of money. But there's still water standing there. It's not getting to the main tile outlet. It needs jetted and a riser still put on it. But I don't see any choice other than to jet it and put a riser where we can access it. It's gonna put it in the red. Can't leave the holes open and.
How much?
It's probably a couple thousand.
I'm married.
Take it out of Jim Green's.
Need it.
And then
Agreement of just.
Yeah,
Just take it out of Jim Green's.
that's within,
South Marion Peterson, we worked on it. I got 2 laterals of the main ditch opened up. They did require risers and jetty numerous times. We break it loose, it go downstream. We have to go downstream to break it loose to keep it going. So we do have those open up, but then, that's all of my comments, all my other add-ons.
if it's below 4,000, we don't need to approve those, do we?
I just want to ask you when it's going to be going to the red.
Yeah.
I don't like spending the red money without you guys knowing at least about it.
Have anything else?
Yeah, Sid?
Okay.
You don't know what you're doing.
My name's, yeah, Sid Ritchie, and I'm coming to the board hoping that you will consider cleaning my ditch banks on a property that I own, 40 acres. It's on Dry Fork, on 400 West. I'd like to have it cleared and maybe set up on a spray schedule.
Not been sprayed. Did you just buy the property?
Yeah, I just bought it a few months ago.
Okay. So the former owner didn't spray it.
I'm sorry.
No.
Former owner didn't spray it.
No, it's all growed up. The shrubs are real bad, several trees. You can't even see the ditch in several places. It's,
Any money on Dry Fork?
This is the first year for it to collect, I think. Why not?
It's got $14,352 in it. It'll have $22,700 at the end of the year.
It just,
Put it on your list, go check out.
Good.
You're on the list.
okay.
Any other business to be conducted today?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Been moved to adjourn, do I have a second?
Very done.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Two seconds.